Hello to my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. I think you all have some bonus videos. There's quite a few signs that have bonus videos. A lot of people request bonus videos, so there's a lot of recordings going on here. All right, Capricorns, happy holidays to you. Let's get into it. Let's get this thing started. Let's get it started, right? So hopefully you all are putting together a list of things that you're grateful for, right? Things that you're grateful for. We're going to start out with a grateful heart wake up. What are you grateful for, right? Put together that list, right? With your daily ritual. We are in the new moon phase, even though the moon is a waning crescent moon. For those of you all who follow the phases, this reading is for the 29th of November through December 6th. Yeah. So we have a whole new cycle that starts on the 1st of December. Yep. So put together your gratitude list. Put together your gratitude list. Let's go. Alrighty. First card out of the deck is somebody is working hard to have their wishes fulfilled. Somebody is working hard to get their wishes fulfilled. You know, as far as family is concerned, to have more, somebody is really doing the inner work. So good for you that you're doing the inner work. Somebody's really trying to come to terms with something that ended, right? So number 9 is the death rebirth number. So somebody is definitely trying to work hard on their feelings around something related to a relationship of someone you were very close with, and just trying to come to terms with trying to understand why because you think about night energy, you think about saving something, right? Why something may have ended and how you could have saved something that was sacred to you, right? That is why I mentioned, not jumping on the bandwagon in previous videos. So you want to put together a list of gratitude when something has ended and you want to start thinking about sacred relationships with your friends, colleagues, those kind of things, and just really working on, again, see how this person is jumping on the back of a horse? Don't jump on something to just jumping on something just because somebody said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep your vibe. See, this person is sitting at a higher frequency. Keeping your vibrations high when something is so sacred. When something is so sacred about people's relationships, because people, speaking of jumping on the back of a horse, people jump to conclusions about things, right? Those group of people are certain ways, whoever those group of people are, right? You see in this card right here, right? People jump to conclusions about things. They assume the worst. You can be used as pawns in a game and not even know it, all kinds of things. So when you're putting your list of gratitude together and you're looking at the number 9 of how something so sacred could have just gone so left, why could something go so left? Because people jump to conclusions about people, and on this particular card, who are in same-sex relationships. So I got to tell y'all what I see in the cards, and that's it. People jump to conclusions about the people who are in same-sex relationships, but something went horribly wrong for it to end. Because when you talk about death, rebirth, something went wrong. So somebody's working really, really hard to kind of sort of understand, gain some knowledge, which is a good thing, right? And how something could have been sacrificed. How you could have been sacrificed. Right? How you could have been sacrificed. So, looking at the cards here, somebody is learning really how to hang in there with themselves and learning how to not, again, jump on the bandwagon about certain things. Right? And buy into some kind of a fairy tale, going on this journey, and end up just being that could have ended up being a nightmare for you. Could have ended up being a nightmare for you. So somebody's working really, really hard to analyze that part of yourself so that now you're sitting on your throne. I feel like, looking at the cards here, there's still this really negative stigma. Even if you don't believe in certain things, sources saying you can still keep your vibrations high. You can still help people to adjust their crown. You can still keep people with respect, those kind of things. Even people who will come right on and tell you, I don't believe in that. Some people will come out and say it, but they still won't be disrespectful. And so that's why there's so many laws in some parts of the world where people, if you discriminate against a group of people, that can get a lot of people fired. It can get, and people think, oh my God, this. But I'm just looking at the cards here, so it may not be your situation. It could be opposite. You could be married. You could have been in a relationship with somebody of a different race or different skin color, and people could have judged that, right? So the moon being in Scorpio is really coming to terms with looking at how you may have been around people who judge people for their differences and how you may have jumped on something, right? And so it could have cost you, something cost you the end of something. So now somebody's working hard to make sure their wishes are fulfilled. So whatever that means. So some kind of a sacrifice is being made here, right? Somebody's going to stop being an open book. That's what the sacrifice is. Page of Swords. So whatever your anxiety is, it's going to be coming to an end very, very soon. But somebody's going to stop being an open book to people who are about, oh, I know this. And, that's what somebody feels like they're being more relatable. So let me give somebody an example. Let's come off of sexuality for a second, because that's one that seems like it's something that's a big, hard pill for people to swallow. And I'm saying it only because of this card. Let's say it's a interracial relationship. That years ago was a big hard pill for people to swallow, but you see it now a lot more now, right? But it still doesn't take away the sting for some interracial couples who had to go through all of that years ago of not being able to, apply for home loans, and with one person applying so they can be in a particular neighborhood, and still having that sting, or their kids looking a different way, and people judging their family. All of this, just welcome to earth. That's all I can say. But Source is saying to you that, you see this person with the sword in their hand? You get ready to cut out talking about things that you have in common with people that sounds like you're just jumping on the bandwagon to just be a part of something, right? Because it could be very painful. Sword energy is very painful. But somebody's getting ready to stop being an open book. Because it can put you and other people in a lot of danger, right? So let's go along the line of interracial dating, or let's say you voted for a particular candidate and people are just sitting around listening, and you're just being an open book, right? So you would think, okay, you're talking about, I got a raise, and people are like, they start comparing themselves to you. So it's not always about sexuality. Sometimes it's about your preference and who you vote for as a candidate for a race, some kind of a voting or whatever. It could be interracial dating that people have an issue with. It could be different religious beliefs and backgrounds. You're an open book about tarot. That can end relationships. Somebody is learning how to be in receiving mode. And that's what you're working hard on. And that's what you're saying, okay, I need to take some time to sacrifice. I need to take the time to invest in myself, to pay attention. If you're going to pay something, see Pentacles, so I'm paying something, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to work hard to pay attention. I'll pay attention to what's sacred, what I should be talking about and what I shouldn't be talking about. That's what somebody is now focusing on. So that's a good thing, right? But you got some good news coming across your path. So that's a good thing. So you got some good news coming across your path. So congratulations. Good news coming across your path. Certain energies you wouldn't go back to, even if you saw a pig fly through the sky. There's somebody who could be an older guy who is just emotionally immature about things, who could have sacrificed you. It could have been an older cousin. It could have been your brother. It could have been uncle. When I say sacrifice, I mean like you opened up and started talking to them and sharing things with them, not even realizing they had a plan to use you for something. But somebody is definitely not going back to that once now your eyes are open, because you're working hard to protect sacred relationships and divine connections with people where Source is in the middle, where you feel like it's a safe space. So here we have the Nine of Wands. So yeah, here's the so somebody is definitely not going backwards into anything that you now see it didn't produce any growth for you. So you're no longer motivated. See this right here? You don't even see any growth in there. It just looks like tumbleweed maybe in the background. There's just no growth. It just looks like desert land. So something just didn't produce a whole lot of growth. So you're putting together a gratitude list. Remember, as long as people, I want to say not just as long as people are physically alive, there's a chance. But even with our ancestors transitioning over, That's why I always talk about gratitude lists so much. You may miss loved ones who are no longer here, but when you think about maybe the condition that they were in, would you want them to still be in that condition? I'm sure not, right? So you're grateful for those memories, those happy memories. Put that list together. For those of you all, side note, that I talk to a lot of people who still, read a lot of text. Psalm 90 is really good to inspire gratitude for each day's blessings. For those of you all who like the book of Psalms, right? Psalm 91 is really good when you're tempted by the devil, meaning the flesh or carnal mind, carnal mind would be feeling like, okay, there's this bump that you just cannot overcome. Like this, it just feels like a roadblock of just like, wow, somebody's never going to talk to you again. They are never going to forgive you for what you did. It's something, it's just over. It's just dead. Like, so remember, there's rebirth on the other side. So rebirth comes with a new set of rules. If you plan on reconnecting with certain energies that something just felt like it was just over, you have your rules, they have theirs, right? And everybody is open to saying they agree with the rule, terms of the agreement, or not agree with it. So that's what Source is trying to help you to do. But something just didn't produce a lot of growth at all. Being in conflict with people about their boundaries, it does not produce growth. And it doesn't produce growth when you're dealing with energies who, like I said before, who are immature in their conversation about people and their preferences and who they vote for, how they make their money, who they love. When it's the immature conversation around that, Source said that's when you need to get on your horse and get the heck out of the room. You don't even need to sit there and say, well, I think this and I got this opinion on that, because people are listening. People are recording, and today this all this water. They're recording, they're listening, they're mirroring stuff that you're saying. Oh, well, some Capricorn says such and such. They agree with this. They on this team. They on that. So it's saying you need to remove yourself out of the room, get up and walk out. You don't have an opinion. That's how you're going to save yourself. That's the Knight of Cups. So somebody may have new love coming across their path as a result of that. As a result, because once you say things like, I can tell you how dark the conversation could get around in any of these subject matters, whether it's sexual preference, race, who you voted for as a candidate. It can get real dark. It can get real judgmental. And that's what this moon in Scorpio is about. So let's just use interracial dating for a second. Let's say, for instance, you see it online all the time. Let's say, for instance, somebody says, okay, they tried dating within their race. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out, right? So now they decide, hey, they are leaning more towards, dating other people, dating outside of their race. Maybe the opposite sex, but just dating outside of their race, right? People will judge you on that. And they will be very harsh in judging you on that. And some people will be downright cruel in judging you on that. So you're going to have to make a decision to stop jumping on the band. Oh, yeah, just to be a part of a conversation. That's what Source is trying to help somebody. Because you got new love coming across your path, somebody. And you're going to have to really work hard at assessing their feelings about certain things. You're going to have to really listen, sit down, listen with your water sounds in the background when you go back into your hermit mode. Sacrifice, that's this. Sacrifice some time to sit down and replay some of the things or responses and facial expressions they had around the feelings that you have about certain things. So if you're a person that says, hey, that's why you may see couples, interracial couples, hang out with each other because they're sick and tired of being judged. That's why you may have interracial family members, couples and family who don't show up for events anymore. They're tired of being judged. They're tired of having to come around and smile and play nice with everybody because they got to take the high road all the time. So be very careful with that. So somebody's going to be working really, really hard to stay on their throne so it doesn't cause you to be depressed. But I feel like you're going to be grateful that the past is now behind you. That's how you're going to save yourself, is starting with a gratitude list. I'm so grateful that the past is behind me. I now know better, that I got to really work hard and sacrifice some time. That's what you're saying. Remember, time is money. You're going to sacrifice time to sit down on your throne and say, hey, listen, some people buy into this idea that people who date outside their race must hate their own race. Some people get that dark with it. That may not even be the case at all. Or some people who date the same sex must be, y'all heard every horrible rumor about that under the sun. Or people who vote for a particular candidate must be ... So sources saying you're really working hard to not, because you got some new love coming across your path, and guess what? People are going to jump to conclusions about them. And if you can either sit there and let them be attacked and see that relationship go down the drain because somebody will get sick and tired of it, or you can get ready to go back home and get into a big argument. Right? So sources saying somebody is working real hard at not pouring out so much of yourselves, so you can put a manhole cover over the past, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? So it's like, it's going to feel like this for somebody. One night you're going to wake up. So one, you got some good news coming across your past. You're learning how to save yourself. So you're not waiting for somebody else to save you. That's you saving yourself by putting together your list of gratitude. Like I said, for those of you all who like to read the book of Psalms, you can even, Psalms 93 is comfort for those people who are in trouble. So if you feel like you have friends who are in trouble in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether, they're depressed or sad, and there's some kind of emotional trouble, or they're troubled in their thinking, then Psalm 93 would be good for that. If you feel like you're tempted by, like I said, the devil, meaning your flesh or carnal mind, feeling like, okay, I'll never, I did something by even just sitting there shaking my head, yes or no, just sitting in a room, and people are like, oh yeah, Capricorn was there, even if you weren't agreeing or whatever. Psalm 91 would be good for that. And then you can have like a stir of emotions about things that you're grateful for. Thanksgiving, not actually the holiday Thanksgiving, and just like giving thanks to something. Psalm 92 is really good for that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you all. We're gonna go ahead and close it out. Yeah, something feels like a bait and switch for you. Now that something is over, something feels like a bait and switch for you, which could feel like, okay, I don't really know what to say. I don't know what kind of conversations to get into. Sometimes it's just best to just sit there and just listen and say, okay, well, you know what? You think that's a bit harsh? If you have to say something, I was like, yeah, not everybody is like that. Just because somebody date outside their race don't mean they hate their own race. Did you hear them say that? Like, just because somebody is, date the same sex, that doesn't mean that they're that way. They're whatever. Or just because somebody voted for a particular candidate for whatever election, that they all of a sudden such and such, right? So somebody is really learning how to sacrifice some time to sit down on your own throne and adjust your own crown, because I'm telling you, you're going to bring somebody around and people are going to automatically jump to conclusions about them. Even if you don't bring them around your family, you may bring them around your friends, at work, something, people are going to automatically jump to conclusions about you and them. Yeah, so 2 situations for you may feel like it's been a major challenge, like it's a David and Goliath situation for you, like it's just hard to overcome those challenges. But like I said, you got some good news coming in. So 5, 6, yeah. So something new is being created here. Some kind of new creativity is happening here. So try not to make this like it's rocket science. Source is just trying to help somebody stop pouring out so much. You can pour out in a therapist's office, for real. Like if you feel like you need to be in a space where it's confidential, pour out in a therapist's office, because you got a lot of people who are recording, listening, taping, all of the videoing, all of this stuff. And so somebody felt like they had the weight of the world on their shoulders. Yeah, but it's not your weight to carry. It's really not your weight to carry. Other people's opinions about something, about somebody who they love or who they voted for, whatever, that's not your weight to carry. But if you want to have a sacred bond in relationships, save yourself by saying, I was around some people who feel some kind of way about something that may be something that, even if you feel like you need to defend somebody, that's not my opinion on the situation, so. So here we have the Seven of Wands here. So I do feel like something is closed out. Something has now been revealed. Something has been exposed. It has been revealed, right? For you, you may be asking why, because seven, the dark side of seven is why. And seven is seven in tarot. 1 and 6 is 7, right? 1 and 6 is 7. That's a tower card. Some kind of an awakening happened. Like somebody has been awakened, and the tower is now. You're having a tower moment. So the Chariot card connects with the Cancer. Cancer is the mother of the Zodiac sign. Somebody who was very nurturing has been made aware of something. Somebody who was very nurturing in your life. It could have been an aunt, a mother, a cousin. Somebody who was very nurturing to you has been made aware of something, right? And so something is now closed out. They asked why first. They were the ones that asked why. Like, why? Why would Capricorns, with all the sacrifices that they felt like they made, they thought, why in the world was with Capricorn, right? So that's the like I said, when you're pouring out so much, but it's a new beginning happening here. This is the Ace of Cups. Source is saying, don't toss your pearls before people who will not appreciate what you're sharing with them, and they can ultimately turn around and use it against you later. So that's the beauty of sitting back and listening. So what's happening is that somebody has new love in their life, right? And you're learning that there's levels to your throne, to everybody's throne. First, you're not going to say anything negative about people. You're going to listen for certain subject matter and what they feel about it, what they think about it. What they think about it. If they turning their nose up, if you say, oh, let's say, for instance, you see an interracial couple walking down the street and you say, oh, they're such a beautiful couple. I'm about to step on somebody's corns here, but I gotta drive a point home to you all, because people can get real cruel when it comes to judging other people. And this moon in Scorpio is now reminding people of how cruel people can be when they're judging other people. Let's say, for instance, you see an interracial couple walking down the street, and it's a black guy with somebody who classifies themselves as white, right? She could be white Hispanic or white Asian, white whatever, just white, right? So please forgive me if I'm saying something wrong. It's not intentional. I'm just trying to drive a point home. And you're sitting with someone who is the same skin color as you, and they make a bold assumption that, oh, he doesn't like women of his same race. Or if it's a and that's something for you to hear, like something for you to hear, like, wow, like what if he was with people of his race for years and those relationships didn't work out, and he just decided, okay, him and this person actually, they work well together. Or if it's the other way around, or if it's two people who are the same sex walking down the street, and that you hit and they say, oh, they make a nice couple or whatever, and that person says to you, oh, so are you that way, like in a judgmental way, because you just say, okay, well, who are you to judge somebody who they love? Source is saying to you, though, you're learning how to listen, like really listen for what people are saying. You're really learning how you're working hard to sacrifice being around energy vampires who have been draining you for information about certain energies, and then turn around and you sacrificed you, right? Which ultimately could have ended something that made you feel like you were in a David and Goliath situation, right? That's what it is, right? So whatever anxiety you may have been having about something, you've been in an open book, is coming to an end, because you're learning how to kind of get stabilized and say, okay, your wishes are going to be fulfilled, but somebody's going to have to put that past pouring out everything you got into all your relationships. This, remember, is also somebody is highly creative as well. You're going to start pouring more into creativity, like writing books, music, creating the life that you want for yourself, and less talking about pouring into other people about, involving yourself in those conversations. So yeah, you're going to feel very, very fortunate. You're going to feel very fortunate that, very fortunate this year. Very fortunate this year. Here we have the Two of Pentacles here. So another stream of income is coming across your path. Another stream of income is coming across your path, right? Another stream of income is coming across your path. But somebody could be DJing. That's what it looks like, is a DJ booth here. Or somebody could be hosting, celebrations or events or something. You got tons of event planners, whatever. But whatever it is you're doing, it's another stream of income coming across your path. And somebody you'll be pouring into. Somebody's going to be very compassionate towards you, right? Here we have the Princess of Swords here. So, yeah. There you go. Lovers. Some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path. And the cool thing about the Lovers card is Lovers card is a partnership. And think about what a partnership looks like for you all, because this is really good. Somebody has really learned a lesson. Somebody has really learned a big, big, big lesson here. Looking at your cards here, partnerships, you think about, nobody's talking down to you and judging you about your feelings or your beliefs about things, and vice versa. It is a partnership. It's a balance, meaning that your twin flame would never burn you in business and it would never burn you in love, right? You have made a very clear decision. This is Lover's card is about decisions. You have made a very clear decisions that if you are being talked down to, or you feel like you got to talk down to somebody that you know who has made a lot of sacrifices for you, it is time to stop. Just stop yourselves. It's time to stop yourselves. So somebody is really having some time during this holiday season to really think, like, the sacrifices, that people have made, right? And so you moving on with your life, or other people moving on in your life, will definitely expose cracks in a foundation. So that's what I'm seeing for you. I see you definitely Seven of Swords. There are going to be people who are going to talk about you behind your back and say, oh, but take all of your power with you. All of it. Take all of your power with you. All of it. All of your power with you. I mean, in other words, let people believe what they want to believe. Yeah, because you made it to the King of Swords. That's right. You're on your throne. You made it to the King of Swords. You're incredibly smart, like I've been saying. So somebody had to go all around Robin Hood's barn just to get to this reading here. So let's close it out. Let's close it out. Let's close it out. Let's close it out. Yeah, but something is closed out because somebody was made aware of something that was done, whether it was intentional or not, but somebody was made aware. And somebody, not only that, somebody went into prayer mode. That's also 7. That's somebody who was a very nurturing spirit. 7 is the Chariot card, right? I mean, 7 in Major Arcana is the Chariot card, but also it's the Tower card, 1 and 6 and 7. So somebody was made aware of something, that you were an open book, that you were talking about a lot of things, about just a lot of things. Somebody was made aware of something, or that you were around people who were doing a whole lot of talking, and it was a toxic environment. And so it's not about whether they believe that you were engaged in a conversation or not. It's really just, like I said, it's something that's sacred, right? So somebody was recording something or video something, you were around in an energy, and people were listening. So people start to see, like, like that. Like I said, you have made a decision that you're not going to talk down to people. They're not going to talk down to you. A lot of sacrifices were made, but in this day and time where there's a lot of cameras around, there's a lot of this and that, you just don't want to be caught in spaces where people said you said this and you said that. It could be misunderstood. It's something that's very different than you still on a discovery trying to find out things. Like, let's say you're trying to find out if your parents are who they really are. You're still trying to figure out, is this my mom or is this my dad? Because a lot of people are still trying to figure out, like, am I related to certain people? What's my background? They could have been told certain things, right? could be on the discovery trying to find out things, right? And people could use that against you later, you know, and say, oh, this person is lying about this, they're lying about that, when they're just trying to gain some understanding and clarity about some things, right? So Source is saying it's very different from that, but all of it for you should be safe. That's how you're going to save yourself, and that's how you're going to make room for new love coming across your path. That's how you're going to make new love, room for new love coming across your path, right? So put yourselves first. Make lists for pros and cons. Just relax, adjust your crown. You have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations and moods and feelings. You made a positive impact on them. You have the gift of clairvoyance. You have the gift of clear listening. That's clairaudience. But don't cast your pearls before energies who will not appreciate them. Who will not appreciate them. Yeah. Somebody was dealing with a somebody was interacting with some energies who, you know, when you get to the end of your, if you feel like this is also a good thing too. This is also a good thing for you too. Is just because when you're around energy vampires, think of it this way. They're draining you for everything. Right, so you feel dehydrated. Your body may feel dehydrated. You may feel thirsty, literally thirsty. Like you feel like, you're like, why are you so thirsty? You know, and drink some water, right? Drink some water. Particular types of water. You can look it up online. Drink some water. Listen to your water sounds, those kind of things. But then they pour back into you what they want you to believe. That's their water. So they can pour gossip back into you. So... and I'm going to close this out. So let's say, for instance, you say, I have family in, let's say, some part of the U.S. Let's say you have family in Florida. I don't know. So shout out to all of my Floridians. But let's say you have family in Florida, right? Or at least you believe you have family in Florida. And you pouring out into people. You're telling people, oh, I got family in Florida. I want to learn more about those family members in Florida and kind of sort of more information and so on and so forth. And I want to reconnect with those people and find out who they are and this kind of thing, right? And somebody brings you pouring out to certain energies, right? These energies are now pouring what they heard about you into you because you just finished pouring out, right? So first of all, something could have created a David and Goliath situation because somebody thought somebody was lying. This is a fire sign, fire energy. Somebody thought somebody was lying about something. At that very moment, you need to go directly to whoever may have shared something with you. You need to go directly to them. At that point, you don't need to be confused. You need to go directly to them so that together you all can find out what's going on, because anything else will cause division. That's what fire does. It causes people to come racing out of something. It causes a division. So when I look at your cards here, the Nine of Wands here, there's a Sagittarius involved in something. You also had, Sagittarius would be the 9 and 10 of Wands. A Sagittarius involved in something, right? There's a Leo involved in something. That would be the 7 of Wands. So maybe you ended something with a Leo. 5 of Wands, two situations where somebody had Leo in their birth chart. That's 5 of Wands twice, where, again, something has ended because of conflict, differences, a bunch of tension that somebody kept trying to avoid over and over and over again. Stop avoiding stuff and just end stuff, right? So this was fire energy that was creating some kind of friction in somebody's life, not even giving you an opportunity to pour back into yourself. So something was draining you all. Something was draining you all. And so somebody was just being sacrificed. Somebody was being sacrificed. So you're going to feel very... now that somebody has new, basically saying people are going to talk down to you and you're not talking down to other people. You got some new energy coming across your path. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. So yeah, you're working hard. Somebody's definitely working hard on something to kind of, so you kind of get back into the swing of things. But something is definitely over at this point. So you live and you learn. So here we have abundance. I cannot lose what is mine by divine right. All good things come to me in good time, in due time. I operate by faith, not fear. Everything I need for success is within me. I am the key. So again, your wishes may be fulfilled. Like I said, you got some good news, but things cannot go back to way they were, because you have this newfound sense of like how to save yourself from draining energies who keep you fired up where you don't even get a chance to process your thoughts. So be grateful. Put together your gratitude list. Hopefully those Psalms help somebody. You know, you can look them up yourself if you like. You know, do your own fact checking, but look them up yourself. It's just too many people who are on. There's just too many people who are on their own discovery of trying to find out their background, their history, all of those things, for people just automatically to jump to conclusions and believe everybody is lying about certain things. So, or to believe that you're lying about everything. There's just too many people who are. I saw something online the other day that says Capricorn, they're capped for a reason. I know that's a slang term, basically lying or something. And I'm just like, what a horrible thing to put up on social media, because that sticks out in people's minds, like Capricorn, cap. So here we have sound healing. So 47, 4 and 7 is 11. But yeah, source is saying those are the kind of subliminal, like right in your face, and sometimes subliminal messages that people put out into the universe, who automatically think, you know, if you're on a discovery, you don't even have a chance to even do your own background research without people assuming that you're lying about something. So source is saying to you, you're not going to do that to somebody else. Or assume anything about anybody else, because other people won't even give you a chance to process your own emotions about things. Awareness. I am whole. I am present. I am where I need to be. I am focused. I'm living in the present moment. I'm grateful for this life. I release all mental clutter. Mental blocks are being cleared. Some of you all, I feel like, are also still learning too. There's certain family members who don't want their secrets out, you know. And I saw something on social media the other day, like much older generation. It's not like you're trying to expose people or trying to hurt anybody, but certain people don't want their past to be exposed for whatever reason, right? So Source is trying to help you to learn how to process your own thoughts, around things. So let's go ahead and close this out. Let's go ahead and close your reading out. Okay, all right, so here we go. Here we go. Affirmations for awareness. Courage. So let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. That's your courage, right? So you're taking the steps that are shown. So somebody's showing a whole lot of maturity around just taking the time to sacrifice some time. Like that's what somebody's doing. Somebody is sacrificing time to really pay attention to the energies you're around. Who's recording, who's, you know, giving you the side eye, who it doesn't feel like it's a sacred environment when you're talking around, including family members. They just recording everything. You're replaying conversations back in your head, listening to loved ones where you felt there was a sacred bond. You didn't hear that conversation come out again. You know, somebody is now really in learning mode, which is a good thing. Somebody is definitely in learning mode. So that's a good thing. All right, let's close it out. So yeah. Whoa, these cards are just doing the most. And that 5 of Wands just keeps coming down. Like, wow. So somebody must be, that 5 of Wands just kept hitting the floor. Somebody must be in some kind of a real kind of a conflict, disagreement, tensions, competition, arguments, some kind of tension going on. I don't know. But it doesn't have to be tension. It doesn't have to be all of that in your spirit when you're on a quest to find answers. It doesn't really have to be. I see you back in the saddle again. Somebody's just tired of arguing with people. who think that you're lying. That's why I said when I saw that online, and I see it a lot for Capricorn online, Capricorn. I'm like, what does Cap mean? Y'all know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, the older generation trying to figure out what the younger slang is, right? So, okay, that's what Cap means. Okay, right? So don't y'all tease me in the comments below. Please do not. I'm still learning, right? Still learning. But I thought that was a horrible thing to put down there, because obviously all Capricorns are not, liars when people are, but something you felt like you're learning how to be more conservative, with your time, so you don't feel like you're left holding the bag, right? Like you don't feel like you're left holding this, holding on to something where you feel like you've invested so much into relationships and you didn't get back what you put out into relationships, so now I feel like your mind is more on, you will never be talked down to in relationships. You're not going to be harshly judged for you just trying to find answers for things. You're just not. Somebody is learning a lot of lessons about why certain family members don't talk to people anymore, because they've been lied to their whole life. Somebody learning a whole lot of lessons. You're on your quest. You're now learning a whole lot of lessons about a lot of things. So that's a good thing. So, yeah. So 8 is the money exchange number here. So we're not talking about just paper and coins, but some kind of a chant is going on here now, where somebody is starting to speak into, you want to detach, because 8 is the karmic number also. It's the money exchange number, but what you're detaching from are energies who have succumbed to passive and powerless behavior, or energies who are egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. So that you can get to the light side of 8. You can know exactly what your purpose is, and you can enter into a healthy cycle, a very healthy cycle of just taking your time to be able to process information for yourself. So when you go on a quest and people are saying, oh, why are you looking up this? Why are you doing that? Questioning, just rushing you to even process your thoughts about things. You can say, listen, this is not the relationship for me. This is not the friendship for me. This is not the relationship for me. This is not the job for me. I can't be rushed. I need time to process my own thoughts, come to my own conclusion. I don't need you to just keep giving me the answers for everything. So somebody's divine masculinity was definitely questioned here. That's why you have so much fire here. It was almost like it was toxic, and that could be from a man or a woman. So somebody was definitely questioning your balance of divine masculine to divine feminine energy, right? And so it's that divinity of source right in the middle. That is what I have for you. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully those Psalms, for those of you all who like to read the book of Psalms, which is very powerful, has also been helpful as well. But again, happy holidays to you and your family. Put together that gratitude list. 24, I am generous. But now you're going to be generously pouring back into you. That's what you're going to be doing now, instead of pouring out into everybody else, putting out their anxiety, their worries, their fears, putting out their fires. You're going to make sure your cup is full first and overflowing, so they can get some of that overflow of your pouring into you, even if people assume that you're being selfish. But here we have generous. I have a heart of gold, and I'm very skilled at maintaining balanced, stable relationships. You are loyal to your loved ones, and you're able to be the nurturer, protector, and provider all at once. So that is what I have for you. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye.